Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will look at how to use GraphQL in NestJS. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, guys, this is the official documentation of NestJS. As you can see, we the first step to integrate GraphQL in NestJS. First, you have NestJS CLI in your local system. So install this CLI on your local system. After that, you have to create one project with Next.js. So let me create one. Let me first install the CLI and then I will create one project for me. I have created one project. And the name of the project is Next Demo. So if you can see, this is how file structure is created by Next CLI. If you create a new project, okay. So here is a source folder. It's a main folder for us, and in that source folder we have main.tx, app.modules, and app.controller as well. Okay, so our next step is to integrate GraphQL now. Okay, so in order to integrate GraphQL, we first need to install some of the GraphQL dependency. If you go to the Next.js documentation, okay, so in the GraphQL section, for a quick start, you will see there are some dependency which we need to install before integrating the GraphQL in our next application. Okay, so those are the dependencies. Okay, guys, now we have successfully installed the dependency. Now it's time to import the GraphQL model in our app module. So in the documentation, if you see, so yeah, this is the we have to import in our app dot module file. We have to import this GraphQL model. I'll explain what it exactly does. So I will go to the source file, source folder. Inside source folder, there is a app.module.ts file, and in this import, we have to add this. So let me import those GraphQL model as well. Apollo driver configuration. Okay. And as you can see, we also pass some option as well, like debug false and playground false. In development mode, it should be true. So for this tutorial, we are in the development mode. So I will make it as a true. So what is the option playground? So this playground is nothing but it's a platform from where we can test our queries and mutations for the GraphQL. Okay, so I will show you how exactly playground looks like. So like in the document, okay, this is the playground. Okay, so it's is useful for like we have to testing the our queries and as well as mutations. Okay, so for that reason we can directly use this playground. And for the development on the production, we always keep that playground as a false and debug also false. Okay, and so just a last step remaining for integrating GraphQL in our next. We need to define our schema files. Okay, so there are two ways we can integrate GraphQL in Next.js. First, code first approach, and second, it's schema first approach. So for this tutorial, I am going with the schema first approach. So for schema first approach, we need to create first resource. Okay, so for creating the resource, we need to write nest g resource and the resource name. For me, I will use product as a resource name. Okay. I enter. It will ask some question for it asks some question to us, like what is the do you want to create REST API, GraphQL code first approach, or the schema first? So I will go with the schema first approach. So GraphQL schema first approach. I will hit enter. So would you like to generate CRUD entry points? So for this time, for this tutorial, yes, hit enter. Now as you can see, the CLI next CLI created one folder called product and the sub files as well. For me, this is the entire product model. We can say in that model we have the .graphql extension file, okay, service file, and the resolver file. So I'll explain you in detail what exactly each file does. It's completed. Now what we have to do, we have to tell our app module. So this is our app module where we wrote this GraphQL configuration. We also want to tell this GraphQL which schema file should we integrate in this next application. Okay, so for this, I will go to the again documentation. So this is the This is the code first approach, and we are using schema first. So we have to write type path is equals to this. So what does this line? This line is basically is used to scan all the entire directory and find a .graphical extension file, and those file will be treated as a schema for our application. Okay. So like if you can see in the product, now we have product.graphical. So this is schema for our application as well. Okay. So I'm creating one query. Okay. So get all product, and in the return I'm getting the product. So what is the product type? So let me define some name is string, and second one is price. Okay, so get all products. We have created one query called get all products. Okay, and after that, we if we, when we create a query, we have to resolve that query in the resolver. So I will go to the resolver. As you can see, there is two product queries. So I will write over here. So get all product. So name for this query is get all product. S should be there. Okay, products, and this same name should goes for resolver. Resolver as well. Okay, so here is the get all products. Okay, so in the service file find all, so I will go to the find all service, and in that service I will have coded the data. Okay, so this is one object, this is second object. So this name, product 1 comma price equals to 20. Let me copy this entire object. So product 2 and price is 30 rupees. We are hard coding the values directly. Okay, so we have one query called as get all products, and for that query we have one resolver get all products. So we have one resolver, and this resolver will call service find all method, and in the find all method we are returning the hard coded data. Okay, okay, so let's run the server now. I have added this bracket just because we are sending array of objects. Okay, not a single object of product, so we are sending array of products. So that's now if you run this query. Okay, I'm getting an error, no type. Okay, so it's there. Okay, so if I hit okay, I'm getting the data. So as you can see, we have successfully integrated the GraphQL in our next application. Okay, just take a quick look what we have done. So first of all, we have installed the CLI. After installing the CLI, we have created one new project. After creating the project, in the app.module, I have imported a GraphQL module. Okay, so with this GraphQL module, I also imported a type path. So this line will scan the entire or project folder and find the .graphql files as a schema files. Okay, so now we have schema files, and in this tutorial we are using a schema first approach. So I have created one resource called as product, and in that product there is one file called as product.graphql. So this is the entire our schema file. In the schema file I have created one schema query called as get all products, and for this query I have created one resolver in the product.resolver.ts file, and this resolver will call the all find method, and in all file method I have written the product array. Okay, so as you can see now, if I run this query, so I will getting the product. Alright guys, this is how we can integrate the GraphQL in our next application. In next video I will show you how to authenticate the user with JWT in GraphQL with NestJS. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe. I will see you in another video. Thank you.